Welcome back to the News from the Real World podcast. I'm Quinn.
I'm Jess.
I'm Jody.
And in this segment, we're starting off with some pretty embroidery.
Yes, we are. The very, very long title
Really
is Having gone largely unnoticed in the Game of Thrones series, it's now impossible to take your eyes off it. It's an editor pick from smatterist.com. The author is unlisted. And this article has been bouncing around Facebook for the last couple of weeks. It's come up at least 14 times on my feed.
There's a lot of Game of Thrones people out there.
All of Game of Thrones. It's basically...
Are you one of those people?
Yes.
Of course you are.
I've seen 2 episodes, but I'm actually intrigued. I actually kind of want to watch it just to see this stuff on camera.
It's amazing.
Right now?
It's amazing television.
Are you sad you didn't get this article?
Yes, I'm sad I didn't get this article, but I'm not that sad because I'm pretty sure I've submitted it to Bover. I'm pretty sure that I emailed him and was like, hey, Newspaper Lord podcast?
Can't wait to hear all of Bover's comments about this week's.
Oh my god.
So basically, this article wasn't really an article, it was just a bunch of pictures. Of close-ups of all these really intricate embroidery,
beautiful,
and all this detail work
costume designs
on the costumes.
Yeah.
Some of the materials on these costumes, and not of the costumes themselves, just of the detail work, include thread, pearls, I need spell check, crystals, metal beads, wire, and closed jump rings. And I mean, the costume designer was making these beautiful lions and fish and out of so many different materials.
The lion face I thought was really cool. It
They were
the
all
fiery tongue.
beautiful.
Yeah.
The hummingbird, those bees on the Carthian people.
They looked so real, they freaked me out and I scrolled right past them. I was like, I can't look at these.
Oh my god, that's
I love that you know the names of the
it's absolutely remarkable.
I know all the names of the characters. I've read almost all of them. Come on, Sansa's wedding dress was beautiful.
And you know what? Actually, like I kind of when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, that dress is lilac. It's purple. There's no way in the light because in the movie lighting they show you like how it looks off the actress, and they show there's a picture of it and it looks like
it looks like 2 different colors.
Completely, absolutely.
I thought what was really interesting about that dress in particular is it told a story.
Yeah.
And it's just the amount of detail that's going into these costumes. You know, from the bottom it starts with her background at Winterfell, and then actually at the Tullys, and then goes up into Winterfell, and then up into Lannister, which was so interesting.
I have
so
no
cool.
idea what you just said.
Anyone else in the world will understand. Watch one episode, you'll understand.
You would really enjoy it. Everyone would really enjoy it. But the cool thing about this article is it's like, I think Game of Thrones gets lots of hits for being like showing like all this gratuitous nudity because it does.
What's wrong with that?
But that's what the books are. If you're going to be realistic.
Yeah,
so,
like there's just so much
detail about
nudity
cutting
and
people's
violence.
heads off.
Yeah. But it's clearly like they've taken the production value very seriously. It's obviously so much more than that, and that's among its many other redeeming qualities.
Well, Camille brings up a really good point. It's crazy to think that so much attention is being paid to such small details. Some of these dresses are only on screen for a few minutes in poorly lit rooms, but they're still put together as though they're meant to be examined with a magnifying glass.
So true.
Which is so true. You can't even tell some of these details from the
Khaleesi. Did you see that blue dress? Khaleesi's dress with the dragon scales?
I love that. It's beautiful.
Oh my god, it's amazing. She's got these dragon scales like all across, but you wouldn't have seen it. You would never have known it.
I'm just enjoying the two of you right now. How much you're enjoying this.
Go read the books. I haven't seen any episodes of the TV show, but
we can correct this.
I'm planning on it.
We can correct this.
I think we've blathered about costumes enough now.
Moving on, something with a little more substance. A Dancer and Health Insurance, a personal story. It's an editor pick from danceusa.org by Alexander Leslie Thompson. So this dancer, New York dancer, I think modern, he never specified, just has become insured for the first time under Obamacare, and he talks about how the difficulties for an artist who, in his case, was basically making around $20,000 a year, how insurance has been really difficult, and he was insured till he was 26 under his dad's Blue Cross Blue Shield, I think.
Yeah.
And was like mugged and beaten.
That's only a recent provision, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, that only went into place a couple years ago.
Yeah.
He was mugged and beaten, and he now has a number of
Medical bills.
hospital
Yeah.
bills from it, including ambulance. His septum got broken, had to be reconstructed.
The most important thing is you need to know what your insurance covers too. Like this person wasn't expecting any
Yeah.
bills because you have
Right.
insurance. And that's not how insurance works. Like
Right.
I know my insurance, I can't get in an ambulance. If I get an ambulance, it's $4,000 that I have to pay. So, and there's no, like, even if I'm unconscious and I can't say, no, I can't get in the ambulance, nope, they're still going to charge me $4,000.
You can call me. I'll take you.
My plan, if I ever need to go to the hospital, I'm driving myself.
Healthcare in this country.
Oh, painful.
It
It really surprised
It
me,
is.
honestly, that this dancer, whose body is his instrument, his body is so important, didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid, what if something, what if
know
he had
what?
gotten in a car
Have either
accident?
you ever gone through a period of your life without insurance?
I've never been.
Good for you.
I've always.
I'm not 26 yet.
I will eat. I will live on ramen noodles before I go without health insurance.
Yeah.
Like that's
I've
how I
seen-
know. That's how I know I've hit like rock bottom. When the minute I can no longer afford like air conditioning and private health insurance, it's like
Well, it's
hit rock
just, it's
bottom.
way too big of a risk to take.
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen way
a
too many
terrible
things
idea.
happen.
I went 5 years without it. And
Thinking about that
I had
scares
one
me.
health thing that I just paid for myself. Was like $200. Went to a doctor.
We were
It was
really
You're
lucky
really
then.
lucky, yeah.
I mean-
Especially with my like running lifestyle, you know.
Yeah.
some
Yeah, I'm too
crazy
I'm too
races
clumsy.
that are-
Because the amount of
Yeah.
the amount of dangers we're exposed to just in this industry, and
Yeah.
not that it's like dangerous, but I mean working around automation in the shop, it's a dangerous
Not
situation.
even. Have you guys walked to school lately? I've been
icy
yeah.
sidewalks in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, have nearly devoured me 3 times this week. Like,
I guess I'm just more reckless in that sense.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
but it's
I-
not a good idea, and thank God for Obamacare. Now it's made a lot
it's
more
got
affordable for Americans.
it's got its ups and downs, you know.
Yeah, that it does.
Certainly. Well, they have some things to work out, but you have to admit it's good to have.
I think it's
Care
some
for
irreversible steps
lower-income folks.
for better or for
I-
worse in the right direction.
I have personal experience of Obamacare and how it has completely screwed up my health insurance for the worse. So I'm one of those few people that my health insurance is now much worse because of Obamacare, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh, I see. I know a lot of people who had screwed them over, but it's helped me. It's helped me, but it has screwed my parents.
At the cost of Jess here.
Yeah, thanks guys.
You know what? Well, my dad's a dentist, so it's a completely different. They just have a completely different
Yeah.
perspective on it, and
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, I'm from the South, as it were, and a lot of people just have a different perspective on it down there. And when they
Yeah.
complain about it, I say, well, you know what? You're helping me out. I don't smoke. I don't drink excessive amounts of coffee. I don't do drugs. I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah.
And you're helping me out.
That's good. There were no
Oh, I have so
comments
many
this
more.
week. Isn't
There
that
were-
sad?
That's because these are all
Really?
students and they're all on.
No comments.
Insurance.
No, students, go look into this health
Yeah.
insurance. If
Because we're
anybody
gonna
read-
pay for this. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna pay. This is very extremely
our-
relevant.
You guys need to be paying attention to this stuff, especially in our industry, because with the unions up in the air, who knows what's going to happen to health insurance in our unions.
Right. Well, moving on. Tech tools.
Tech tools.
Another
Tech
list!
tools.
Another list.
5 tech tools. we
About
should
that
go
Why are you
over.
glaring at me?
This is an editor pick of all things. All right, so 5 tech tools every director in the music theater industry should be using. This is an editor pick from theatricalrights.com by Fred Stewart. And I will start by saying, or Mr. Stewart says, none of these tools will replace hard work or brilliance, but they can enhance your process. Number
Thank
1, digital musical rehearsal app. Number 2, line learning apps. Number 3,
That was the one that was like, oh, that's kind of cool that they have that. I didn't
the
know
line
that
learning
existed.
app. The
That's
line
been around for a while, actually.
couple
I'm
years.
on the old generation.
I would say that
Newfangled
among-
technologies.
in the comments, like there was some general enthusiasm for the line learning app.
Yeah.
So I'll let that one slide. Line learning app. Number 3, virtual player for audio cues.
QLab.
Is that QLab? Is that what that is?
It's an app that replaces QLab, which you can download for free on any computer. I don't understand why we need an app for that.
Number 4, digital perusal apps. I think this goes in the spell check category of like making you lazy myself. But okay, we'll go with it.
I can see how that one is useful for artistic directors. You don't have to wait for everything to come in the mail. You can just look at it right on your screen, and you don't have to worry about sending it back to get your money back.
Oh, that's true, I guess. Okay, you can have that one. Number 5, and then number 5, not an app, but a useful tool, a pen with a light.
That made me so sad. Like, really? You know
New
what?
technology.
This pen lights up. Like, book light.
I'll be honest, none of the comments were excited about the only one of these that I found even remotely useful, and that was the first one, digital musical rehearsal app. Have any of you ever had to run a music rehearsal without an accompanist? I mean, well, the idea is like you can have rehearsal for West Side Story without starting from the top of America.
Yeah.
You can start from like the middle of the song and stuff
Right,
like that.
right,
And I'll
right.
tell you, having done that, that's quite useful.
You can do that on a CD player, though. I've run many a dance rehearsals where, you just write down, the choreographer says, we're going to start at this point, and you write down on a piece of paper, this point is this time in the CD, and you
Yeah, I
go
guess
there.
that's true too.
Yeah, I've done stuff like that.
You know what?
Do you have any of these apps? Either of you?
No.
No.
There is an equity app.
I mean, I
There
have
is
a
the-
pen with a light.
Maybe it's not equity, but there is a stage
That's
management
just-
app you can use for timing your breaks and stuff. Other stage managers here use
No,
that.
I don't like
use
that app.
it.
It's not
I don't
very
use it.
useful.
I don't use it. I happen to think that most of these are
My
fluff, as we like to say.
my worry is that some of these apps aren't actually, they are useful, but they're going to make you lazy. Like, is it really that much harder to
Isn't
find
that
a
what I
time
said?
on a
Yeah.
CD? I mean, I'm sure you have to find a time on your little app in your music, and
I think
the line learning
the
one
line
is
learning app
I
because
think that's
can
good.
see
How many
that's
times
useful.
have you? I've helped so many actors.
Oh, yeah.
friends.
I've helped a lot of
That's
people.
lines,
Like,
for
you
audition,
just
yeah.
get a code and you download it straight to your phone or
Yeah.
your device or your whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's
and
pretty
honestly, the best part about that is it gives nobody an excuse for why they can't learn their lines. Like, that's really what I like.
okay. Nobody has an excuse for not learning lines anyway.
cool. That's
Oh, I
right.
forgot
But
my
this-
script.
but this really helps.
Yeah, that's great. But the rest of these, meh. Anyway, so I'll quote Katie Pine. She already had one this week. We'll quote her again. Here's an instance where technology can help you be more creative and productive. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Katie.
Well stated.
Well, that ends this segment on that gem. I'm Quinn.
I'm Jess.
I'm Jody.
Are you
Please
sure
come
about
back
No.
for the third segment. Please. Please.
Oh.
So you guys know I'm hateful every week.